Oi boys, welcome back to another video on the channel. Apparently we have the biggest updates in Rugby 25, so I've booted up the game, played a handful of matches. I've got the patch notes up on screen. Sure, the list is long, but only a few of these points are addressing changes to gameplay, and there's a lot here to do with improvements to the career mode. So we've yet to dive into career mode. It's something I'm going to do pretty soon. I'm not going to make a series, but I've got something planned for it. As for the gameplay changes, the biggest is they've added 5-player rucks. There's no context patch notes, so we'll just quickly read through what else has changed. They've added the player send-offs, new celebration cutscenes, improved AI substitutions to injured players, and as well as improved the stamina, and lastly, to do with gameplay, they've improved AI past decision making. So that's what we can look out for when we're playing in this Super Rugby match as Fiji. So is it quote unquote the biggest patch? It's kinda meh. The 5-man rucks is pretty cool. We'll talk about it while we play, but do not get too excited. Don't expect anything too drastic, especially gameplay wise. It's just a normal patch, to be honest. To be frank, the game in its current state has taken a step back again. So this isn't my first game, by the way. I've had a few now, and the game does kind of feel out of whack because the ruck system, I don't know what else they tweaked when adding in the 5-man rucks, but for some reason it's so easy to get a turnover, which is why we get penalized right here. I tried holding A because I knew a turnover was coming, and I literally held it for like 2 seconds and we gave the penalty away. We do get the steal here at the lineouts, pretty rare for us, and just like that, they get the turnover back. It's pretty much turned into a turnover fest, a turnover-a-thon. Now, I'm not a rugby head per se, but I'm sure if the ruck is formed and the ball's getting turned over like that, is it legal? That's what I'm trying to figure out, but yeah, there's plenty of that going on. Camera switch turnovers, much like this. Most of the time, I'm not even trying to press any type of turnover button, it's happening automatically, and I'm wondering if there's actually a rhyme or reason. Is it because we have more players at the breakdown? Like, as soon as the ruck forms, we get another turnover here. This is just me adding players to the ruck, so yeah, I think that might be bugged. I can't imagine that's how they intended it to work. Look at this, another turnover. But yeah, this is pretty much the game at the moment. This difficulty I'm playing on is Legend. I did play on Medium as well, and the experience was a little less chaotic, so maybe playing on the hardest difficulty is just bugged. I know in previous patches sometimes you get better experiences playing on the lower difficulties. You get a more well-balanced experience when you're playing, trying to play proper rugby, which is a bloody mission in this game. I mean, I've come to accept that this just isn't going to feel like a simulation. There they go again, not collecting it on the full. And there's the turnover again. I'm not actually going for a turnover, we're just adding players to the ruck. I don't know what's going on. When you can actually string phases together, it's the experience is alright. It's pretty much what you come to expect. If you've been keeping up with the updates, you'll see that gameplay wise it kind of does look like, and it feels like, it's plateaued. What's holding the game back at the moment is the super subpar AI ability. Let's score a nice little try here to open things up. Don't get me wrong, the AI has improved since release at least. I mean, they weren't even bloody offloading, they weren't passing more than once. So I'll give them that, it has improved. It's just still lacking, we'll say. And there's still no kicking game from the AI. It's actually non-existent. As we get a nice little offload and a burst of speed. As we score another try here right before the break, but yeah, the AI still needs plenty of work. As for the actual patch notes, the biggest change was the 5-player rucks. And in the matches I've played, I've kind of made it a habit to just commit all 5 players, just to see if the AI can catch me lacking. And it doesn't really make a difference, to be honest. Now I imagine if you did something like this against an actual player, then you would be punished for it, especially because there's no command to pull a player out of the ruck. So once you commit 5 players to it, I imagine you'll be left vulnerable against an actual person with a brain. Speaking of, I need to dabble in online play. I haven't at the moment as we score yet another try. Just finding space on the edges here. I didn't notice at first, but this was actually a majestic looking dive, similar to the one where they raised their hand mid-dive, but this one's like reminiscent of Joe Doko Koko, a lot of hang time in it. But yeah, so as far as the biggest, as we get intercepted, and it won't matter because we get that automatic turnover. As far as the biggest updates ever, chat, so this is nowhere near the biggest updates. I mean, if you're watching me play the game, you'll notice that nothing much has really changed, except for the inclusion of, or the addition of, 2 players added to the ruck. As for the AI, I haven't really noticed it's doing anything different either. And I've also just haven't noticed it making more than a couple of passes. I'm not going to commit to the ruck here. I want to see if they actually try and get rid of the ball. No real sense of urgency to kick their way out of trouble. So we'll commit. We can't even hit a normal switch of play because they're not running onto the ball. You can see where the gameplay is at the moment. Still plenty of work needs to be done. The 5-man rucks, although I don't see a real use for them, it does feel kind of pointless, especially with how the ruck functions and how simplistic it is. Yeah, I don't really see a need to use more than 3 players at the breakdown. That's pretty much my honest thoughts about the biggest change of the patch, which is the 5-man rucks. As the fat lady sings, we'll try and end it with a 3-point field goal, or drop goal, as they say in Union. As we take the shot, and it won't have the legs, and that'll be all she wrote for patch number 18. We are 18 patches in. I wasn't really expecting much out of this patch, to be honest. We are coming off Easter holidays. What we're ultimately looking for out of these patches is improvements to gameplay, and unfortunately for this patch it's taken another step backwards. This whole automatic turnover at the ruck and just the crazy amounts of turnovers in general has made the game borderline unplayable. I can't speak for the career mode tweaks, as I haven't delved into that mode yet. But like I said, the important part, the meat and potatoes, the gameplay, for the most part still feels the same, and that's with the inclusion of the 5-man rucks. So yeah, that's pretty much all we've got for this patch. Those are my immediate thoughts. As always, if you did enjoy the video, be sure to run straight at that like button. Apologies, I just hit the mic. For more rugby related content and more content in general, go ahead and drop your boy a cheeky sub. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you later.